Good afternoon, Maggie.
Good afternoon to you.
You're right. Well, so much.
Good afternoon to everyone out in Facebook land.
Right. Well, congratulations on the 1 May, I'll call it the ceremonial grand opening of Artsy Artisan. And what I wanted to do was just spend a few minutes with you talking about Artsy Artisan, the vision that you have for it, what you hope to accomplish as you take your passion and bring it to the residents of Carbon County and visitors of Carbon County. And maybe we could talk for 5 or 10 minutes, and then maybe we could do a quick walkthrough of Studio 101 here at 410 Center Avenue in Jim Thorpe.
Understanding that the studio is in progress. I mean, there's always art projects going on, so yeah.
Right, and we hope it will always be
that way.
There will always be change and projects that are underway.
Yeah, and there's going to always be improvements, things being added all the time. So yeah,
right.
This is not what it's going to look like forever.
Right.
Definitely.
All right. Well, let's start out and talk about Artsy Artisan. What is the origin of Artsy Artisan? For you.
Okay, so in 2018, I became a full-time artist, and so I said, well, I'm going to join the Art League. Isn't that what artists do? And so I went there. I fit in great. I mean, I had a great time, but it was like, I was like, these people are really, really artsy. They're artists, you know, and not imposter syndrome, but I always felt like, I don't know, I love crafts too. So, but then when I'm around really crafty people, I'm like, I'm not so crafty, I'm more artsy. So I'm kind of like, and I think Artsy Artisan, and artisan means someone who works with their hands. And so to me, Artsy Artisan is, you're a little bit artsy, a little bit crafty, so you're like in between. So yeah, kind of like that Marie Osmond and Donny Osmond song, right. A little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. So yeah.
So how would you describe, what is your vision for the space that you've created here at 410 Center Avenue in Jim Thorpe?
So my vision here was to create a space that's positive, uplifting, encouraging, and a place where people can come with ideas and have their imagination come to life. And so also a place where I could share any knowledge that I have about art history. And then also, over the years, I've, meddled in so many different mediums. I thought it would be a great place to explore those with other people. Yeah.
All right. So I've seen it described on your website and in Facebook as art education and creative workspace where one's imagination comes to life. Okay. Could you expound upon that a little bit? How are you going to have that, what is described, realized? What's going to take place here at Artsy Artisan?
Okay, so during the workshops, which are basically classes, as people are working, I'm going to be sharing knowledge of art history, and then also teaching different techniques, different mediums. There's going to be 5 different levels, and of course this can be added to in the future. If people get interested in other things, we can explore those as well. This is not by any means restricted to these 5, but this is how we're starting. There's the paint level, which is the basic foundational level, and some people can stay there for the rest of the time. They don't have to learn any other mediums if they don't want.
That might be their passion.
That might be their passion, and that's the thing is kind of like coming to explore and see what fits best for you, and then I don't know, and being able to just either dive deep into that one medium or try the different ones, see which one you think is the best. So the next one up would be mixed media, which we're going to learn about decoupage, collage, stencil, stamps, all kinds of different papers and different techniques. And that one is another one where there's collage artists who that's all they do. And so you can stay there if you want. The next one up would be mosaic. We're going to do use the different, and all this is based on laser cut wood, so cut into shapes. And so we have flowers, we have pollinators, what I like to say, pollinators, butterflies, bees, whatever. And it could be any shape. It can be a blob. It doesn't have to be, a specific shape, you know.
Well, maybe we can show them some examples of that in a few minutes
Yes,
as we walk through the space.
do the walkthrough, yeah. And so the next level after mosaic is stained glass and resin. And this is a technique that I've kind of developed on my own. It's like like a Frankenstein of different things that I've seen other people do. And
we'll say a hybrid.
A hybrid.
Frankenstein has a negative connotation,
Really?
perhaps, for some.
Okay, all right. And so, that's true. So that's a technique that I've developed on my own, and it's really beautiful, but it's also user friendly for doing in a classroom situation, because as many of you that have done stained glass, it can be pretty intense. And again, this is something that if this little taste of stained glass really floats your boat, then you can explore actually going into real stained glass, where you do the copper foil around the edges and you solder the leading and everything on it, and make windows, make sun catchers, whatever. You can go into that. I'm not going to be doing that in this situation. It's almost like you need a studio for stained glass, specifically. There are people in town who do stained glass. It would be neat to get them up here if they want to do a demonstration or anything like that. And that was one thing that we'll hit later too, is that the space is available if there's any artists out there that need a space for teaching a class or doing a demonstration. It would be a great opportunity to do it here.
So that was 3.
No, that's 4.
Okay.
And then the 5th one is paper mache. Okay. And I started out in 2018 with paper mache sculpture, and it is a time-consuming medium. That's why I left it for last. And it's not for everyone. You think in a 3D way, and all the mediums that we've done up to that point are all 2D. They're all flat. So that's when you start going into more like the sculpture. We also have the opportunity in the future, if people are interested, sculpting with clay and doing things that are more 3D.
Well, we do with the laser technology that we're going to demonstrate.
We have the capability.
So we really go to a second dimension, do we not?
Yes.
Because of the depth. It's not flat,
Well,
whereas
it's considered 2D.
Right. Yeah.
Because
it has some depth to it.
Well,
depending on what we actually produce.
Well, like if you do what we do on a canvas, then that would be considered 3D, because it sticks out from the canvas.
Right.
So, and that's another possibility too, that if you want to incorporate elements, like let's say you do canvas art already, you can add these elements to it and give it a pop of dimension, not only of color but a dimension.
We have some examples of that, don't we?
We do.
Oh, not on the canvas.
Not on canvas.
Not on the canvas.
Not yet, but I mean,
I have the multi-dimensional, like the wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
We do. Different examples.
Okay. Use the term "we." So who is the target audience, or the demographic that you expect to attract here?
Well, what's considered my client avatar, my ideal client avatar, is a local person who is either a stay-at-home mom, and we're going to be offering classes in the morning for stay-at-home moms that, you drop the kids off at school, come and work, get back home, and then the kids get home from school and you had a wonderful morning. There's also, I am going to be offering evening classes, so ladies and gentlemen who work during the day will be able to come for evening classes. And then we're going to also offer weekend classes, or workshops, so that on the weekends, people who are available can come. And in there, it can be locals, it can be tourists. Everything is set up so that, let's say if it is a tourist and they can't finish in the time in the time for the workshop, I will give all the supplies, and this could be for a local as well, all the supplies that they can take it home and finish it at home. However, if you're a local and you don't finish, you have the option of leaving your project here and then coming during a studio time, and we'll be posting the times for those, the days and all that, but it's almost just about every day. But you can come in, pop in when it's convenient for you, finish up your project, work on it as much as you need to. And we're going to be stressing just taking your time, just enjoying the process, and not get wrapped up in like, you got to finish this in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just being able to learn, to relax and to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if I understand, the concept is at least one, call it approach or method that's going to be employed here. These project workshops where there'll be an opportunity to at least start projects, potentially finish them during that time period. But if they don't finish, there'll be set studio times Tuesday through Saturday. And I know you're getting ready here at the end of this week, which is this weekend, to actually post the calendar for May events, where they can come and continue on to their projects.
Yes.
During studio time. And then others can come in and work on other things that they may want to be doing.
And I'll be available during that time as well. I'll be working on my projects, but if you have a question, I'm right there, and you can ask me, and I'm available to answer it. It could be on anything that you're working on there, or if you're just curious about something that's art related, and you can ask me, and I'd be happy to answer. Also, I just forget it. I lost my train of thought.
In my understanding, I know you've done a lot of work going into this, establishing your LLC, which was significantly not challenging, but you're doing it all by yourself without legal counsel. Establishing your LLC, Artsy Artisan LLC, working another challenging process that was to become certified by the Small Business Administration to be a veteran-owned a small business. And there's certain reasons why we pursued that also that we won't discuss here. But again, it's just to make more opportunities available for what you're trying to create here in the vision. I was wondering, I know that shortly as you produce the calendar here this weekend, you're focused on a price point for locals that makes it open to a large breadth of individuals. Right.
I understand, and we all understand here in Carbon County, there's different economic levels here, and some people have had it tougher than other people, but I want this space to be available and accessible for everyone. And so what I'll do is work with you. What I'll usually do is offer, if I'm going to do a workshop, I'll offer a smaller version and a larger version. So if you have more money this week, you can do the larger version, but if you don't, you can do the smaller version. Also, so for each month, I will be offering 3 options of projects. You can pick one of those 3. However, let's say next month, I'll be offering 3 new projects, but in addition to that, you can go and do one of the projects that has been done the month prior. And so as the years go by, it's gonna increase and increase. I have this huge wall inside, we'll show it to you. And what I hope to do is take all the projects, and as the months are done, go ahead and post them up there, and then eventually it's going to be filled with all the different options that you can pick from. So you're not limited to the 3 options for the month. You can do anything that's been done prior.
Right. And I think one of the unique things I love about your vision, and I've been embedded with your vision here for the last year or so with this, is that it's not simply your ideas for projects, but you're going to be basically in your conversations with your patrons or those, art enthusiasts, craft enthusiasts who are here, bringing their ideas to realization. And we have the capacity and capability to kind of leverage technology and the laser digital programs and stuff to bring those almost personalized objects to realization.
So I taught a class already, and one of the gals, was saying about how I'm willing, I said, my dream is that you'll have ideas of what you want to do instead of what I am proposing. And you say, Maggie, instead of doing your projects, I want to do this, X, Y, Z, whatever. And I was like, and then she was like, oh, I have some ideas already. And I'm like, really? I was like, yeah. And like, she showed me on her phone things, like characters that she's developed. And it's like, we could easily do those as cut out outlines plus engraved lines on the inside, and then you paint them, and then what's in your head comes to life. It becomes an actual character that you can see. Right. And even later, if that person decides to do paper mache, they'll be able to do their character in 3D.
Right. I think I want to hit another step back a little bit and talk about the demographic, because we have, you had other ideas also to make it available to bring in like school groups, and some points have been brought up from others of groups who would have interest in that. That I think is great.
That's an amazing avenue that I didn't even think about, but like having field trips for the kids to come, and I can do very simple, we can go from very simple to very complicated projects. So obviously for a school group coming through, I would do a very simple project that the kids could complete in half hour and have it like a lot of the pre-work done. So all they do is just put on the final touches, we glue it, and then it's, and then it's done. And it's exciting. I'm going to be putting together some brochures and things like that to offer the school systems, and if they want to do it, they're more than welcome.
I think the other one is the homeschool groups.
Yes, homeschool groups are more than
groups.
More than welcome to come and use this as their art class venue, and all the supplies are here. They just show up and everything's ready for them. I mean, it would be neat to be coordinating with them if they want. I used to homeschool my son off and on because we were military and we moved a lot. And it would be neat that if you're doing a chapter on, like let's say your history is on Columbus, and the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, or something like that, I would be able to design a wood cutout of the ships, and then they come in, and their art project actually goes along with their history, where everything kind of coordinates, or if they're learning about pollinators, or if they're learning about, something in nature for science, we can do those as well, and they can be as correct, like color wise as they want, or as pick their own colors, but
That's great. I think one of the things I know is kind of the next step or phase also is to make this exportable. That is, these project kits that are being developed that basically have the cutout products, all the paints, the brushes, the glue or adhesive material that is all necessary to assemble these and basically do them at home, if that's the desire.
Right. So I am going to be my gallery and retail spaces right here. We're going to do a little walkthrough, but I am going to be offering kits. So if you want to come in, grab a kit, purchase it, and then work on it right away, you can. Or you can take it home and work on it at home, and it'd be great little stocking stuffers or gifts for your kids for their birthday or anything like that, We're going to, well, speaking of seasonal, we'll be providing a lot of seasonal projects too. And then, gift certificates for Mother's Day. We're also going to offer date nights if, couples want to come in and, do a project together or work on something.
No, that's great. And so individuals starting this weekend, once the calendar of events for May is posted and you start populating through the following months, where can they go to get information on Artsy Artisan, the calendar, and then I know you're going to start updating and upgrading the particular website. Where do they go?
Well, the website is artsyartisan.art. And on there will be a way to see what classes and studio times are when they're happening, and be able to sign up, pay for it online. There's also going to be this page, the Facebook page, Artsy Artisan. We'll do events for classes so that you can sign, say whether you're interested or not, sign up. and pay for them through Facebook. You can always drop by as well and pay with your card or your phone.
And I think, like you said, online, you may not have mentioned it, but Venmo is going to be the preferred. Is that correct?
Venmo will be preferred, but we'll, that way you can pay with your card. If you are a cash person, which I get it, a lot of people in Jim Thorpe are, you can always stop by. The reason I'm saying stop by is because we're not going to be doing any like cash when you come in for the class. It has to be done at least a week prior before the class for you to be, because you can enroll, but until you pay, you're not in the class. And so you have to, if you're going to bring your cash, you bring it in, no later than a week prior, so that you can be officially in the class and then be able to do the class.
Yeah. And the reason is because materials have to be produced actually in many of the projects.
Yeah, the projects will be cut. And how things work behind the scenes is I usually design the projects and then I send them to Chris. Chris then sends them to the laser and he handles all the laser cutting and everything, and then he passes them back to me. So all those projects that, that will be offered, the 3 each month plus whatever the prior months have been, need to be cut out in preparation for the class. Obviously, like I said, though, there will be some kits available. So let's say, in the future you come for the class, but you didn't pay, you could grab a kit, pay for it, and be in there and learn the techniques that we're doing. But so we'll work on that. So
that's great. I think that was a great synopsis of the vision and how you expect to realize that vision. Why don't we take a quick walk through kind of the 3 physical spaces that make up Studio 101 here at 410 Center Avenue, which is the old school up on the hill in Jim Thorpe. So what I'm going to do, Maggie, I'm going to go ahead and try to be the mobile cameraman. We'll see how that goes. I'm a little shaky. I didn't have my Pepsi yet today, so...
and I'm going to have to remind them, don't go so fast, you're going to make people throw up.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so you have to be careful.
All right, so let's go ahead then,
So
Maggie.
the reason we call it 101 is because the one door is 101, but if you were a student here, then you would know that this is actually the office where the secretary worked and the principal's office or the superintendent's office. Okay, so this is our door, and this is the entrance here. Do not try to go in through the other door. The other door will always be locked, and it's a one-way in this way. Okay, so welcome. So what we're going to try to do is come on in, and we can do the shot of the corner cabinet. This corner cabinet is going to be the check-in area. So when you come in for a class, you're going to be checking in here. Eventually, it's going to be electronic, but maybe at the beginning, it's going to be just a sign-in sheet. So, and then we're going to start selling merchandise, like you have the t-shirts if you like them, and then we're going to be able to sell them. We're also going to be doing aprons, maybe hats, who knows, but that's all down the road, and we'll gauge interest as it goes, So this is just a little chill out area because sometimes if you're bringing your kids and you want to, as long as they're well behaved, if you want to just come over and chat with the lady, with the other moms or something, you can do that, and the kids can be in there. However, I am not getting any.
You're not going to update your certifications.
I'm not going to update my certifications for working with children, so you have to be okay with that situation. I'm not a crazy person or anything like that.
So when there are children here, there will be a parent, adult.
A parent has to be on site. But obviously, there's going to be a comfortable area for you to sit. So right here, since this was the office, just a little explanation. Since this was the office, this is where the box is for the firemen. If there was an alarm going off or anything like that, they would come in here and turn it off here. But if you can tell, this is like in the middle of this big wall. And so I said, what can I do with that? And so I thought it kind of looks like a jetpack for an astronaut. So I made this astronaut falling through the sky, and he just pulled down the paint from the wall. So this is the kind of thing that I want people to think about and say, hey, that I have these crazy ideas in my head. Can we do these things? It was like, we can do anything. And this is styrofoam insulation. This is a totally different medium. I did not mention that in any of my descriptions of what we're going to be covering. So that right there is, if people are interested in doing bigger pieces, and you'll see bigger pieces as we go through, I'm happy to show my whole technique for doing that, and from start to finish. I would be happy to do a class if people are interested in that. So here's some artwork that I've done. This is acrylic on panel, wood panel, and so yes, I can do painting. I can paint, but it's not what really excites me. What excites me is making something with my hands and painting it. That's what excites me. So when you this is just a little sample. We're starting to work on landmarks of Jim Thorpe, and it's they're going to be called lit JT or lit landmarks. And so this is the Dolan House, and the point is to put a tea light in the back, and when they light up, the windows light up, but it's kind of bright in here, so you probably won't be able to tell that it's lighting up. But can you see it? I don't know. Here, let me try this one too. Oops. They're so hard to do sometimes. I don't know if you can tell.
Turn off the overhead.
Oh yeah, let me turn just real quick.
That's perfect. Yep.
Okay. That's a very rough prototype. So just real quick, this is not my work right here. However, this was made by Joan Leck. She's one of my fellow artists in the Carbon County Art League. And I love her work. She works with wood. She wood turns and carves. And she whittled this whale. I loved it. It just it spoke to me. So I bought it. And when I was looking at it one day, it just sparked an inspiration in me to do a whale with flowers on it. And I kept seeing this whale like swimming through the clouds. And so this is the kind of thing that, let's say that this artwork doesn't appeal to you, but this gives you an idea for something else. And that's what art does. It inspires you to think of other things yourself that appeal to you. And if it appeals to you, it's going to appeal to someone else. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It's something that speaks to you. So I have it here as a nod and homage to Joan, and I love her, appreciate her so much, and I hope she sees this video. I'll try to tag her, but just so that she knows that her piece inspired me, and I'll show you the piece that I made. So you see right here, like a row of furniture. They tend to be smaller pieces. We're also going to be doing furniture flipping classes. So I'm going to be teaching how to take a chair like this and turn it into a work of art, and make it a something that can be in your home and be an artsy, statement piece or a conversation piece. Patty Malarico, who owns who runs Willowwood Cottage in Renewed Life Furniture in Lehighton, she is, yeah, it's backlit, yeah. I am so grateful for the beautiful sunlight that comes into these studios. They're very well lit and great places to work. But yeah, it's backlighting's an issue. But so when you're on camera. So anyway, so Patty Malarico and I are going to be teaching the furniture classes together, and she is a strategic partner with me here. She's going to be she is a stockist for DIY paint. And so I'll be selling DIY paint here for her. And then also we're going to be, the furniture classes will be carrying IOD sisters, the IOD transfers and all that for the furniture classes. This is a prop that I was asked to make for a talk that someone made. And it was talking about, it was a Mother's Day talk, and it was about praise on my lips, about uplifting positive speech. and all the ladies got chapsticks with the with that on it at the end. It was wonderful, and it's always good to think about you know, speaking in a positive, uplifting way and not putting people down. So after that, people sign in the corner cabinet, they're going to come over here, and if it's winter time, they're going to drop their coats. There's there's also a shop back in here, but so drop their coats over here, and then on this side there's cabinet or shelving, and this is where the projects will be. And they come in and you grab your project and you take it to your seat. So come on in here, love. You can see here's some projects already in here that people have been working on, and you see yoga material. Well, so my studio is also a yoga, a place to practice some yoga.
And there's a pencil sharpener.
And yes, this is I kept this because I was like, this is totally like a school thing, right? And so we have a place to sharpen our pencils too. So we do yoga on Monday nights at 5:30. I'm sorry, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock to 6:30. I'm sorry, 5 o'clock to 6:30, and it's $10 for an hour and a half. Which, if you do yoga, you know that is a deal because it's usually that much for just 1 hour. So, all right, and then after you grab your project, you come through, and this is the supply room. So you would keep going through the doorway and pick a seat and put your project down. And you can come in here, or you can come in here and grab your supplies if you know what you need. So this is a supply room. We have all the different paints, brushes, and all that. I will at the beginning be selecting those for the people in the class. But once everyone starts to know what they need and want, then they can start doing it themselves. So here we have all the DIY paints. We're going to have a bigger selection than this, and that will be mostly for the furniture classes. However, when any project's done on the laser cut wood, we start out with DIY paint, and then we go to interior latex paint. The DIY paint is like a chalk paint, but it's clay based. It's super saturated, so the colors are hard to. You can water it down so this cabinet was one of my projects. This is the original how it looked before. And so this is how the cabinet looks now. So if that is something that appeals to you, we are doing a furniture class this month. And so be looking for the information on the website or on Artsy Artisan Facebook page. So right here we have the vintage pair of glasses. Make sure you don't get the little glares. I love vintage stuff, and this is what an optometrist would have had back in the 20s or 30s, hanging outside their shop. And so I just love the way it looks. And then it's just a little joke too of, someone's watching you. When you get your supplies. Do you want me to talk about the chest?
Sure.
Okay, so I also do commissions. People have that know my reputation, that I can take things and completely transform them, come to me and ask me to do things for them. So this right here, a wonderful couple has just adopted a baby daughter, and the mother of the new father had saved his toy chest all his life, and then now this toy chest is for the brand new adopted baby daughter. And so as you can tell, it's very boyish, it's rustic, but it doesn't go for a little girl who's delicate and sweet. So I am going to be transforming this into the perfect toy box for a beautiful baby girl. And so there's a whole bunch of techniques, and actually I'm doing a video series on this that I'm going to be posting and maybe editing and making it all into one, going from start to finish. So be looking for that. I'm recording the whole process, so you'll be able to see it. So here we go, entering into the classroom, and as you can see, these are all flowers that have been cut out of wood, painted. Here's some beetles that I've made right there, right here. There's another one. and all over. And this is just an example of what can be done with things that you can make here. So yeah, and then we enter in here. This is the classroom. So first thing that you see that's kind of takes up most of the space is the whale, as I was talking about earlier, that I was inspired to do because of Joan Leck's carved whale that she had done. And then, as I said, I saw the whale with flowers on it, swimming through clouds or swimming in the sky. And so I made some clouds to go with it. And here's the big wall where after we finish this month of May, the three trellises that are this month's projects will, I'm going to close these real quick because they're super bright.
Glare.
Yeah. But those are the three options for this month. You can do a butterfly, a dragonfly, or a hummingbird. So here's the butterfly, there's the dragonfly, and the hummingbird. So for the opening, the grand opening, my wonderful friend who's an event planner was the one who picked up the napkins and the plates and all that, and she showed them to me. So I took all the colors from and kind of the flower shapes and everything from the plates, and then I made this this arrangement for the centerpiece for the table. And that is another example of how you can take everyday things and make them for an occasion. So yeah, so this is what I created. And then here's the dragonfly, and then the hummingbird is over here. And so these are going to go, after May is over, these will go on the big wall. And then the new projects for June, it's like, what month comes after May? June will be the ones that will be on these columns.
Will people be able to buy finished products like this at some point?
Yes. So we have some pre-cut projects that we have done ahead of time. Mm-hmm. So if those never get selected to be made by somebody else, I will go ahead and paint them, and then they'll be for sale in the retail shop. So right here is an example of pop art. That's kind of a newish art form. And so and many of you may know Andy Warhol. He's the one who did the Marilyn portraits that were kind of fluorescent. And so this is an example of pop art. And so I'll be exploring that as a class, maybe some month. I don't know. It depends. All right. So this is the laser that makes all this possible, and this laser will take the wood and cut it. It'll get it's connected to the computer, and the computer tells the laser what to do. And this is I'm also doing earrings, and these are all little cutout of earrings that we're just doing samples right now and figuring out how big to do the loops, how big to do the size of the earrings. You know, some people like big earrings, some people like smaller earrings, so trying to figure that out. So here, that corner cabinet, I don't know if you noticed it, it's kind of plain looking. It's just black, and I'm trying to, the things that are fixtures here in the studio that will always stay here, I'm trying to make them, pop or be, show what you can do with the help of the laser. And so I came up with these daisies that are going to be encrusted all over that corner cabinet. And so I was varnishing these. That's why I was saying it's a work in progress. There's always something going on here. And so, and these are examples of earrings that I came up with. And so they're just daisies. They're cute. Mm-hmm. And so I like smaller, but I know people like bigger. So there will be bigger ones in the future. But I have to do the second coat of varnish on this.
Do you have any other examples of earrings that you'll be doing?
In the other room, yeah.
Can we show it quick?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hold
Just,
on. Yeah.
and they're prototypes right now,
They're
right?
prototypes. They're very, very basic. And of course, there's my hair.
I was going to say, did you create that haircut?
Yeah, I did not create the haircut, but I guess I could if I.
All right.
So here's some bears because we're in Jim Thorpe. You know, that's a bear country.
Mock chunk.
Yeah, mock chunk. The place where the bears are. Then here's some Jim Thorpes that will be earrings eventually. This is very unique. Not every woman would want to have a Jim Thorpe earring.
Hanging from their ear.
But you know what? That's something I would wear. So I do things that I like. If you come in and you say, I would not do Jim Thorpe, but I would do something else, we can do what you want. And then here's some dragonfly.
Well, coincidentally, it is the month of Jim Thorpe's
Yes, it is his birthday, yes.
And I see your astronaut there.
Okay, yeah, my astronaut's right here. I love my astronaut, so he's going to be painted just like the one that's on the wall. He'll have a red outfit, and then his visor will be super shiny, so it can reflect the galaxy. And so those are just prototypes. Yeah. So we are go back to the room, and
So I see you have the ability video projector also.
Yeah.
So you teach.
So when I
instruct.
teach, when I teach this piece right here, this is going to be actually rolled over here, and I will be teaching from this position right here. But everything, I'm going to have a rig set up so that it will have an overhead camera that can show everything that I'm doing, and that will project onto the projector, and then people. The students who are here for the workshop can watch what I'm doing up there, or they're welcome to come up and see it as I'm working on it up here. Or if they want to be working on their stuff and then look up, they can. Yeah, so it's going to be flexible. Are you talking about the keychains?
Yes.
Yeah. So part of coming here, you get to have an Artsy Artisan keychain. And so on the back of the keychain, this is the Artsy Artisan keychain. On the back of the keychain, there's the website and the location and the phone number for everything here. So you would be able to be reminded of what how to get a hold of me or whoever on the website too. So this is the little ode to the little sculpture here of the ribbon cutting scissors and the ribbon that was cut on Wednesday night, the 1st of May, for the grand opening. That's just a little ode reminder of memento of the night, and just as the centerpieces as well to me. And even as I look at it, and I look at this, and I think of that night of my friends who helped to make it all happen, and Chris, my wonderful husband, who was, instrumental, like so key to all this happening. It just reminds me of the community that's already being made, and the wonderful opportunities that we're going to have here to create, to be positive and uplifting with each other, to to enjoy the process of art. So yeah, it's been my honor and my pleasure to bring this to you, my vision that I have for this space. I don't know if this appeals to you in any way, but my heart is to serve the people of Carbon County, of Jim Thorpe, of anyone who comes to this area, to provide a place that has supplies, that has the projects and things to do, so that you can have a great time with family, friends, whoever. Also, the space is going to be made available for renting, as I said, and for private parties. And this is a great venue for bridesmaids to have their or brides to have their bridesmaids get-togethers, to do something together for as a memento for the wedding and things like that. It's you want to make it. That's what it's going to be. But so thank you so much for staying so long with us. And if you have any questions, um, feel free to reach out, leave a comment. Make sure you like it. If you want to share the page, please do so with your friends. If this is something that your friends would love to do together, that'd be great. And also the number is 570-431-9775. ArtsyArtisan.art is the website. Check me out.